Hey all, and welcome back to the post-game of Pokémon Colosseum. We're still here in the Stagam hideout because Flame has informed me that there's a couple more Shadow Pokémon to get. Is that right?
Yes, as you might have noticed from the emails that we've been getting over the course of the post-game, there were a couple of extra names dropped that we hadn't seen yet, mixed in amongst all the repeat ones.
Right.
Like, this is just me getting lost here, but I will eventually find where I'm looking for. But yeah, we noticed the Smeargle in one of the emails that came through. That's going to be one of the ones loitering in here. And there's also an Ursaring that we'll be getting in the same sort of spot. But to get there, we've got all the other random trainers that are in the way, because of course we have.
Fair enough. Well, instead of running straight to Wikipedia, let's talk about the recent additions to the Pokemon universe, namely the evolution of Meltan. Mel. Richie, do you want to start with us?
It's certainly a thing, is Melmetal. Basically, when I look at it, it's basically just like a nuts and bolt version of Regigigas, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But I suppose considering Meltan is basically a silver metallic ditto with a nut on its head,
right,
it makes sense that its evolution would also ape another Pokemon. It's just I was not expecting Regigigas to be that one that it was going to ape.
I like it design-wise, personally. The only problem is it apparently needs 400 Meltan candies in order to evolve. I'm not even entirely sure how you get these. Let's have a look here. Oh, it's a type of currency in Pokemon Go. It can be used to evolve or power up. Each evolutionary family has their own kind of candy named after the lowest stage of each evolutionary family. I said I won't go to Wikipedia, yet here I am. Whatever's. Obviously, it evolves from Meltan, and when you give it 400 Meltan candies, it's the only Pokemon known to learn the move Double Iron Bash. It is still pure Steel type. It's a pretty absolute unit in the grandest sense of the terms. Flame, what's your opinion, mate?
This might be surprising given how much I really don't like the base form, but I actually really like Melmetal. Like, he looks like a proper beefy motherfucker, and I am completely down for that. I kind of do want to see a bit more from him, and I do think it's kind of disappointing how looped into Pokemon Go he is.
Yeah.
But hopefully, eventually down the line, they'll find another way to get him into the main games. But I think for now, they are using him to push the mobile game a little bit, which I get, but I want my giant metal fucking Colossus while I can.
Like, if they could make a Steel Pokemon gym leader and he could be like their ace or something. Has there been a Steel type gym leader before? I think there was...
Jasmine, yes, in Gen 2. She had the Steelix.
Yeah, well, Jasmine's Jasmine. You go in there with a fire type and it's basically over. I think there was also one in Gen 4, wasn't there? Or was that a ground type leader?
That was ground, I believe, because you had rock and ground, and they were father and son, if I recall correctly.
Other way around, mate. But yeah, you basically got the point. Flame, if you were to run a Pokemon gym, what type would you have as yours, essentially?
Well, I mean, dancing around the name that I used that sounded cool when I was 11, I would actually be more likely to lean to Dragon, because there's so many both Dragon types and Dragon-like Pokemon that I think could make an impressive team. I was always a big fan of Lance's champion team in Gen 2, with the 3 Dragonites, the Charizard, the Aerodactyl, and the Gyarados. That is just a fucking beast team, and so if I had an excuse to use a Dragonite, I could probably sneak a Charizard and a Gyarados in there, just because they're Dragon-like. I'd be down with that.
Very good. And here's a follow-up to that. What would be the 5 Pokemon you rocked exactly?
Well, those 3, for another 2, I'm leaning towards maybe... What is it, Haxorus, the one from Gen 5? He's pretty beast looking.
Yeah, he's cool.
And I don't know, because there's so many fucking cool dragons that you could pick from. This is hard.
What about Jack Moa, mate, to give you a bit of fighting coverage?
Maybe. He's not one that would instantly jump to mind for Dragon, but yeah, he is a cool design, and he could have a proper threatening look to him if you pissed him off as well. So yeah, maybe.
I just like lists and asking people opinions on stuff in case you haven't noticed by now. I guess it's an OTD thing. But Richie, what type of Pokemon gym leader would you be?
Well, it's an interesting one because really I should probably be like fire type because that's always like the starter I go to. But actually I think I would be the oddity in that I would be the evolution gym leader of having a team made up entirely of evolutions because Eevee is like my favourite Pokemon ever. And it kind of makes sense. It's my
theming,
head.
Isn't it?
It's theming. It's different to standard Pokemon gym theming, but it's still theming. And obviously, I would definitely make sure to rep an Espeon and an Umbreon because, of course, they're like the best evolutions.
Yeah.
Definitely throw a Sylveon in there because having a bit of fairy coverage is actually quite useful in this day and age. Then it'd probably be Jolteon. And since it has to be 5, probably either Vaporeon or Glaceon.
Fair enough, mate, fair enough. Does anyone choose Leafeon? Richie, have you ever rocked a Leafeon in the games?
I definitely got a Leafeon. I never rocked a Leafeon because I'm not really I don't really do grass types all that often.
Right.
I think because they die so easily to fire. And outside of kind of water and ground, they don't really do a whole lot. So I just prefer to go with electric types because they have a little bit better type coverage, apart from whenever you get a water electric type like Lantern or a water ground type like Whiscash or something. That's really the only times where the electric type is kind of beat out in any way by grass types with the types of Pokemon you're going to be taking down. So yeah, I don't tend to use grass types that much.
Fair enough, mate.
And yeah, Leafeon, I think it's one of the weaker evolutions from what I can remember. Basically, I think the worst one's Flareon. Because its move pool is dire. But all of the others have usage, but I don't think Leafeon is particularly high up there. Okay,
mate, I guess it's my turn now. Flame, you can have your say in a minute, Flame, about Leafeon's move pool usage and whatnot, but now it is Entom time. Flame went with Dragon. Richie basically is the spiritual successor to the Kimono sisters or girls. I would have to go with Steel, because I don't know, I like fire types, but I just love the sturdiness of Steel. I would have, let's see, Metagross, obviously, he's my favourite Steel type. Let's throw in Melmetal to give us a bit of like Gen 7 or 8 coverage. Magnezone has got to be number 3.
Course, yeah.
And then after that, let me look up some Steel types here, because I can think of some. Aggron might be a good pick and give him like a Mega Stone or something. Steel Pokemon. So,
Lucario?
Lucario might be good, but I'm not really looking for...
He's fucking cool!
Yeah, but I'm not looking for any, like, fighting types right now. So, okay, we've got Metagross, Melmetal, Magnezone, Aggron, and I guess for, like, the final one, I'm having a look here, if they're coming to, you know, the place anyway, I might as well go with an Alolan Sandslash, just because I like the Ice-Steel combo.
Yeah, that's cool. I was always more a fan of the Kanto Sandslash than the Alolan one. Like, I don't know, I think the design just looks a lot more natural on the Kanto one. Maybe it's because I came to like it over so many more years, admittedly. But yeah, like, there's some good picks there. Like, Steel type, the ones that come to my mind immediately are usually Steelix and Scizor. Because, like, they're the Gen 2 Banff kind of Steel types, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
But they're another one of them types that's developed a lot over the years, and they're ones where the Steel type seems appropriate rather than like Dragon, where admittedly they did start slapping Dragon type on everything after a while.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe I have a bit of a swing against that because I like Dragons to be something a bit special. So sticking it on Ampharos kind of, you know, neuters that a little bit, but hey.
Well, you say that, but then Ampharos is a badass electric type and deserves a lot more love, so getting a dragon type is just really, really awesome. Alolan Executor being a dragon type, however, is a little bit more odd.
I love that. I love Alolan Executor, and no one will ever take that away from me.
I won't take you shitty Pokemon away from you, I'll just make fun of you for liking it. It's different.
Well, life makes fun of you for existing, Flame, so it's not like you can do much in return.
I mean, true, but hey.
Well, at least you've come to terms with it by now. Let me flip things around then. Richie, what would you say is your least favourite type?
Oh, you do like to just throw these on people.
I do, yeah. It makes for interesting discussions, mate, when you're not prepared for them.
Well, you say it makes for interesting discussions, it also makes me sit around going, and being really indecisive.
Well, that's on you, mate. Get to the fucking point, please.
It'd probably be rock,
Okay.
actually.
Right, you are a rock-type gym leader. Pick 5 Pokemon.
Lovely. Kabutops, Aerodactyl,
Uh-huh.
Cradilly.
Uh-huh.
I'm now trying to remember loads of rock-type Pokemon and failing miserably.
There's plenty,
many-
mate.
How many have I done there? Was that 3?
That was 3, yeah.
That was 3. Bloody hell. No, I have completely shorted out.
Golem and Steelix, how hard was that?
Well, Steelix ain't a rock type, it's still
No.
around.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it, my love of steel permeated my mind and changed my words.
Give me a minute, I'm getting up a list.
Oh, for fuck's sake, why you do that then? Flame, pick your least favourite type and give me 5 Pokemon from there.
So this is hard because, like, my weakest type, I would probably go with Bug, aside from Scizor. So I put Scizor on the team.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I know it's not that useful, like past early game Kanto, but I do like Butterfree's design. So I guess I'd have to find an excuse to use that.
Right.
The other one that kind of sticks out in my head is fucking Genesect, but that's a legendary, so it'd be kind of cheating.
I guess, yeah. So you have 2 so far, what are the other 3?
Yeah, see, like, I'm seeing what Richie means now. Like, maybe Dustox. Dustox is pretty cool. That's another sort of Butterfree clone, I guess, which is maybe a pussy way out of it, but hey, what's that Gen 5 one? Volcarona, wasn't it? The Firebug?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's mythical or not, but you can have that.
It is, technically.
I'll allow you to have that on the team just for the sake of us getting moving on, alright?
Yeah, because there's so few cool bugs to pick from, I kind of need a bit of a help here, but yeah, like, I don't know, like, fuck it, put Beedrill on just because everyone's scared of it, even though it's not that useful.
Alright, well there you go then. And as for me, my least favourite type, or the type I just like the least, I guess would have to be... I'll have to go with normal.
Yeah.
Just because it's a bit boring, really. Let's go through here. Number 1, I'd have a Chansey. Or no, actually, fuck that. We're going with Blissey, alright? Because, goddamn, I tried to take on the last totem in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and that shit really pushed my shit in. It has so much HP, it is just a great little tank, really. Then I'm going to have to go with Snorlax, who is my spirit animal, okay?
Yes.
You've got to have it in there. Let's see, I'm going to go with Exploud next, just because I like the aesthetic and whatnot. Scrolling down, a Stoutland, because I rocked a Lillipup and its evolutions in my black run before I gave it up. And I guess the last one, Pidgeot. Yeah.
Yeah, Pidgeot's cool. Our normal types, like, you think on the surface they're a bit boring, but there are some, like, really cool normal type designs. Like, I really like Persian. Out of the Gen 1 normal types, that's probably one of my favourites. I really like it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, being the whole boss's favourite Pokemon in the anime and stuff, that's kind of a appeal to it as well, with me being jealous of it. I love that.
Well, I think we've discovered something new about Flame. He wishes to be pampered like a Persian.
Well, I mean, if you're offering, this is like a company perk here.
You won't let me pay you,
You can pay me in head pats, it's fine.
Oh no, just catch the Smeargle. Let's end the part. We've gone into territory we shouldn't have right now. We're looking for treasure where all the treasure is not to be found.
Well, unfortunately, the part's going to be going on for a little bit after catching the Smeargle. That said, I have finally now gotten my list of rock-type Pokemon, and I've got a better plan of what I would have.
Okay, lay 'em on me. 5 rock-type Pokemon.
So, Kabutops,
Uh-huh.
Aerodactyl,
Yes.
Cradily,
Yes.
Tyrantrum,
Yes.
and then Tyranitar.
Oh yes.
Not bad for a team comprised of a type you apparently dislike, Richie.
Well, yeah, but if you're gonna go for a team, you might as well make it good. Just because I don't like the type doesn't mean that there's not any good Pokemon in there.
I suppose so, yeah, I suppose so. I hope this has taught you all a valuable lesson. When someone comes at you and says, you want to be a gym leader, kid, pick out 5 Pokemon, you'll be ready. Maybe not in your head, but in your heart, perhaps.
Fuck it, I'll just have 5 Dragonite, why not?
Well, I can't believe, Flame, you didn't take the advice, the life stylings of your boy Guzma into account when picking your bug types. He alone raised bug in my estimation by 1,000-fold during the course of Sun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I can't actually remember what the name of that signature Pokemon is as much as I like the
Galizapod.
design of it. Galizapod, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is kind of a cool design, but like it's one of the things that I don't really remember many Gen 7 Pokemon off the top of my head like I do with all the earlier ones. I don't know, it just hasn't sunk in yet. Maybe in a couple of years they'll all be there, but not yet.
Well, I mean, I would say that's probably going to be the case because even though, I mean, I like Gen 7, but trying to remember all the Pokemon names, it's getting harder and harder as time goes on.
Yeah.
Like, I look at pretty much all of the first 4 generations of Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure on sight I could name all of them. The second you start going into Gen 5, 6, 7, my brain starts to go, what are those again? Like, I remember when I used to work at the cinema, like, you spend numerous times just nothing happening. So to keep my brain active, what I'd do is I'd kind of run off a bit of till roll and see how many Pokemon I could kind of name just off the top of my head, see whether I could kind of get through all of the generations as much as I could. And pretty sure Gen 1 could do quite easily. Gen 2 was alright, but a little bit shaky. Gen 3 got a bit worse. Gen 4 got a bit worse. So yeah, that was something that I used to do with my spare time. It's because, like, so it's a massive tangent, but they used to have 2 stalls. So one was the ground floor, which was the sort of main one, and then there was the upper stand, as it was called, which is basically where you ended up just being on your own for the entire shift. It was really dull, really tedious, and hardly anybody came to it, but they still had decided that they wanted to have it open sometimes anyway. So I used to be up there by myself. The only other option was cleaning, which after so long, considering it hardly got used, you don't have much time to, well, you're just going to be cleaning, and that's boring, and there's only
Richie,
so much
can you
can
get
clean.
to the point, please?
So yeah, so that's what I would do to pass the time. So Pokemon
And
saved
got
me
paid
many
for
a
this.
boring day.
Yeah, I have to pay him for this. I hope you realise.
No, I was mainly like Richie just listing off Pokemon on company time. Like, yeah, that's useful.
Seriously, like, that is how little there was to do sometimes. I got paid to list Pokemon. It's hilarious.
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I memorised Pidgeot on company time. Thank you.
That actually wasn't bad for off the spot, I'm gonna be honest.
Good stuff, good stuff. So, Flame, have we gotten all the Shadow Pokemon at this point in time, mate?
And no, we are waiting for this guy to send out his Shadow Ursaring.
Alright, I guess cards on the table about Ursaring, I suppose. Richie, how do you feel about the bear of Gen 2?
It's alright. I mean, I do prefer Teddy Ursa's design over Ursa Rings, but I think I much prefer the idea behind them. Because obviously they're based on Ursa Major and Ursa Minor.
Oh, yeah.
Which, as an idea, that's really cool.
It is, yeah.
Ursa Ring's design's alright, but yeah, Teddy Ursa is just super adorable, and therefore I love it, so...
I love how the green, well, the shiny of Ursaring in Gen 7 is just green. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Well, it makes it distinct. Yeah, I'd rather have one of them ones that are just a random colour that looks fucking bizarre than one of the ones that's like a very slightly different shade that you don't notice at first sight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I would say with Ursaring, I just really like its design. It's not the kind of Pokemon I would use. I've never used one on my team or anything. But design-wise, I think he looks pretty beast. I actually prefer his design to the Gen 7 bear, that being Beware.
Yeah.
I just think that in terms of, a Pokemon that you think this guy is going to be a bit of a threat, Ursaring just looks so much cooler in that respect,
Also, I think the reason that, while I'm not the biggest fan of Ursaring's design, I think it's because it is a little bit bland in the grand scheme of things. Because it looks like a bear, it looks much more, I wouldn't say realistic, but I hope you know what I mean by saying that, in that it feels like a much more grounded design, rather than Beware, which is freaking weird.
Yeah, like, Beware looks like a Digimon. It's like a Gen 1 Pokemon in terms of design.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see that as a problem for Ursaring, because, it's simple, it does what it needs to do. You think of a big bear Pokemon, and, he is a big bear Pokemon, he doesn't need to be more complex. And, that kind of goes against the grain of how the design mentality for later generations, where they would seem to add loads of extra details for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
I suppose you got a little bit of it there with that perfect circle on his stomach for some reason, but other than that, he is just a big bear, and I like that.
Well, I think the perfect circle, because I think I know why that is. If I'm correct, Teddiursa has a crescent moon on its head. Ursaring has a full circle, i.e. a full moon, so the moon transitions as it evolves to tie in with that whole kind of star sign type constellation thingamajiggy. I think that's the reason behind it, and if it is, that is really goddamn cool and even makes me like the line more.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't part Dark type, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't really look that kind of... it doesn't look like it's got a dark character tone to it. It just looks wild, more than aggressive, I guess.
Mean, angry. Well, it is a parent Pokemon, I suppose. So, yeah, that'll do it for this part, guys. Flame, what can we expect in part 34, my friend?
In the next part, we'll be going to the Deep Colosseum.
Fuck yeah, buddy.
See that Shuckle on that list there? We haven't seen a Shadow Shuckle yet, have we?
Oh, I used to breed Shuckles in Gold and Silver. I had a lot of time on my hands, but less said about that, the better. Cultivate berry juice on your own time, Tom. We'll see you next time for more Pokemon Colosseum. Bye-bye.